Mr. President, distinguished delegates, colleagues, and friends, first, on behalf of all of us at UNFPA, allow me to thank our board, the member states, representatives of funds and programs for the moving tributes, the memories, and the condolences. Our hearts are heavy, but also full as we reflect on the life and the legacy of Dr. Babatunde and the difference he has made, not only for UNFPA, but in the lives of the millions of women and young people, especially girls, that he dedicated his life to serving. Dr. Babatunde was born in Ogun State in southwestern Nigeria in 1949. And from a young age, he dreamed of being a doctor. It was a dream he more than fulfilled. And throughout his life, he identified as a medical doctor, as a professor, and as a public health expert. And in all those roles, he remained steadfast in advocating for the health and the rights of women and girls, especially the most vulnerable, the most disadvantaged, those most likely to be left behind. As a former health minister and former head of the Nigeria AIDS Agency, he fought for the right to health for all and for communities and health professionals to come together to provide quality health services to those in need. He was known to many at UNFPA and beyond as Prof, and was in fact professor and provost of the College of Medicine at the renowned University of Ibadan in Nigeria. And when he was appointed UN Undersecretary General in 2010, he pledged to ensure universal access to sexual and reproductive health and reproductive rights with a focus on women and the adolescent girl and young people. Dr. Babatunde never shied away from a challenge. His strong leadership, even in the face of significant adversity, helped keep sexual and reproductive health and reproductive rights high on the global agenda. And he was a standout global advocate for young people and their right to information and services for their sexual and reproductive health. He did so not just as a physician who was committed to public health, but as a man who knew the many benefits and clearly saw the connections between sexual and reproductive health and sustainable development, a champion of human rights, gender equality, and women's empowerment. Dr. Babatunde understood that countries could not advance while leaving half of their population behind. I'm sure most of us in this room have heard him say on more than one occasion, there can be no development without human rights. He stood up for the human rights of all people, was not afraid to take a principled stand, even if it meant losing the support of some. He saw the world's 1.8 billion young people as its greatest hope for the future, not as a challenge to be solved, but as a solution, and the drivers of innovation, prosperity, and peace. Our collective future, he often reminded us, depends on how we support that 10-year-old girl as she starts her journey towards adolescence and adulthood. For Dr. Babatunde, the real test of the success of the Sustainable Development Goals will be whether every 10-year-old girl of today becomes a healthy, educated, and productive woman by 2030. He vigorously championed three major transformative goals: 0 preventable maternal deaths, 0 unmet demand for family planning, and the elimination of harmful practices and violence against women and girls. Today, let us all commit to honoring his legacy by rallying around these goals for humanity. We of UNFPA offer our deepest condolences to his wife and family, to the government and people of Nigeria, and to all who have been touched by his life and share our loss. We pledge to continue to carry the torch he has passed on to all of us. We will continue to stand up for the human rights and dignity of everyone, particularly the most vulnerable adolescent girls. And we are determined to stand strong and advance the ICPD agenda, even and especially in these challenging times. That is what Dr. Babatunde would have wanted of us. Thank you, Mr. President.